leave a legacy, right?
Yeah.
But the way that you go about that, that's where the question of, is your ego, negative or not? That's where that starts to come in. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to be forgotten. I'm not out here making all these records just for people to not remember this music that I really feel is great and want to share. So that's
I love that.
that's a lot of where that comes from.
Wait, so circle back to the spatial audio part.
Yeah. So let's get back into that, because there's a very dirty word on the internet that I feel is not nearly as dirty as many of the words on the internet. But people, I think NFTs have so much possibility, but the marketing is all wrong. Everything about it is all wrong, where people think NFT, well, yeah, it's just stupid kitty cat memes that you can own on the internet. I mean, that is one use of them. An NFT is just the canvas, right? If you look at a plain white canvas, you can paint anything you want on there. You can paint a masterpiece, or you can paint stupid kitty memes, right? It's just the container that the art is on. And right now, we're in a wave where NFTs are just looked at that way. But if NFT is just some kind of digital file, so why can't it be an album? It can be an album. Why can't it be, an audio visual thing? Well, it could be. Well, what if it was something that's connected with some visuals, right? But it is an album of immersive music. So you listen to it in your headphones or however you have your immersive setup, but it is a piece, and it's one unique thing that's all meant to be experienced together. It's not meant necessarily to be streamed to the masses. I want to control the amount of these that are out there to create that scarcity, to create that value in it, because not everyone can just
right. We were talking about.
I don't feel, not everyone owns the original painting of the Mona Lisa. Lots of people have prints and copies and T-shirts and stamps and all this stuff, but you don't own the Mona Lisa. You have a copy of it, right? And It's different when you're talking about a physical thing versus a digital file. But as people who worry about things like backups, and which is your master backup drive, and which is your copy of that, and which is, the master, all these things, like, there is a definitive first copy of something. I think that matters. Our money is not real. You buy something with your credit card, no one's like behind a desk somewhere actually shuffling around gold coins. We just all agree that
just numbers going up and down in bank accounts.
Exactly. We have all agreed as a species that credit is something that we're doing. We just kind of we all just said, okay, right. Cool. Even our paper money is not backed by a gold standard anymore. It's not actually worth anything more than the piece of paper that's in your hand. It's not worth $1 of gold. We don't do that anymore, right?
No,
so
totally.
We already understand how to apply value to something that doesn't intrinsically have it. So why can't we do that with digital files? And it's just because we're looking at, well, this is all, there's 1 million copies of the Jordan crying meme, so what makes that one the one? Well, maybe Michael Jordan said that's the one. And so that's the one, And there are people in the world who find value in this, and the big auction houses are doing this. Sotheby's and Christie's, they're selling NFTs for millions of dollars, The same thing. Wow. A painting is just oil on a canvas. Someone just decided that it was pretty and it was valuable, so they're willing to spend $15 million on a Kerry James Marshall. Well, what if the canvas, instead of a piece of canvas, was a digital thing? Because most content is now created in a digital standpoint. If it's created digitally, does that mean that then has zero worth because there's not a physical thing of it out there? Well, all music now is digitized at some point. So is it all no value? I don't think so. I don't think it works that way. So
yeah,
I'm very interested in the NFT thing. I know there's hurdles around it. I know that there's even environmental concerns with it, and
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
mining
Yeah.
and all that. And all of that is very worth discussing. And it's why I haven't dove in full force yet. But I think the idea that NFTs are just stupid internet things is not looking at it from the right angle. It's
Yeah.
not just the kitty cat meme.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a good friend who was telling me, like, we had a whole chat about NFTs and how it's the next thing, and it could replace labels. Hypothetically, if an artist sells NFTs, I don't know, like, I guess the way Gary Vee has his NFT, like, these are your token to get in or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then they make money every time they sell one, or there's a transaction and there's like a percentage that, like,
Well,
it's super interesting.
That part right there is also something that's so interesting about it, is as the original artist being able to make money off of the resale of
Yes.
your art.
Right.
Because, you look at the vinyl game right now, everyone's doing vinyl, but the vinyl...
Led Zeppelin's making nothing when Led Zeppelin 4 gets sold again,
Right. But the resale market, Arm & Hammer, group I work with on Backwood Studios, their vinyl sells out pretty quick. They did the album with The Alchemist earlier this year, Haram, sold out in 20 minutes.
Wow, that's insane.
The next day, people are on whatever the vinyl reselling sites are, flipping them for $500.
No shit.
Album that just came out. And yeah, you could go stream it, and you could stream it for free. You don't even have to pay for Spotify. You just listen to the ads if you want to do that. Like, you don't even have to pay for it. But they're collectors and reselling.
Want the vinyl.
They want the vinyl for that collection aspect, and people are willing to pay. But they just put that album out, and now someone's going to go and make $500 reselling the vinyl. The artists are getting nothing off that. Right? If you resell an NFT, they could at least get a percentage of it because it's built in there, And that's how, from what I understand, that's how the art world pretty much everywhere except for America works, where, they track the art. So if a painting resells in Europe, the original artist gets a percentage of that. We don't do that in America because capitalism or whatever. But that's something that can be built into an NFT. So yeah, if I do like Press Play 2, it won't be called that, but Press Play 2 comes out and I do 5 limited NFTs and then they resell, I should still be getting a piece of that. I had the option of getting a piece of that because it's my art, Something. I should get something, right?
You could set the terms and decide what it, how it shall be consumed,
Yeah, and that is extremely powerful. You said it perfectly. Setting the terms is extremely powerful in a landscape where artists have very little control over that. You can decide what streaming platforms I guess you want to go on to, but at the end of the day, you go on TuneCore or DistroKid or whatever you use, and it's splattered across the internet. And then people take it as they will, right? But like if I were to do it, maybe it's an hour-long album, but maybe I don't even split it up into tracks. You just get 1 hour-long immersive audio file, binaural, so you can do it with your headphones, at home or whatever, and then I don't know, maybe I'll do it with visuals and you put on your Oculus glasses and you're in there and you're looking around and all this. And yeah, you look real nerdy, but on the inside, it looks dope. And this is a thing, and
for that, however small the audience is, for those, those people, this is the shit.
Right. It's, it's a much smaller audience, but those who are engaged, it's a much more engaged audience. Those who are into it are going to be into it and they're going to find the value of it. Because I'm only doing 5 or I'm only doing 10 or I'm only doing whatever the limited number is because this is something unique. It's something you can't just get anywhere. And it's something I, invested a lot of time and energy into where, you do an album and you put it on Spotify. It's like I just spent so much dough and so much work and love and all of the emotions and you're just going to like stream it real quick and then take 2 songs out of it and throw it on a playlist and throw the rest of it away. I don't know. And sure, maybe I should have made those other 8 songs better, or maybe things are just meant to be, ingested in a certain way. And I feel like an artist should have as much control of that as possible.
Yeah, we're so beholden to the the platforms right now,
Right.
Like, the Instagrams, the Facebooks, Spotify.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the that lack of control, like you're saying, is such a part of what is happening on the internet right now. And I think from what I'm understanding, and again, this is not my forte, haven't done as much research as you have, but like, NFTs, metaverse, as much as that sounds fucked up to me.
Yeah.
Like all these things are like ideas of like, the next stage of the internet where, kind of talk about like, Twitch streaming and Discord and all these things where it's like the people are kind of taking back the power from, the platforms that are holding everybody hostage.
Yeah, that's right. And I think if there's one thing that we've learned in the last 2 years of this pandemic is that unique experiences, I think, resonate the most, because we can all get online and see the same exact things on our Facebook feed, right? So since we're already on the internet so much, if I can give you something unique and exclusive for you to tune into and have an experience that you can't just get any old place, that's of a much greater value now, because whether it's Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, those are the 3 that I look at. I follow mostly the same people, and I follow people with like interests to me, because if not, why would I follow them? And that's how it works. So it's all kind of a big echo chamber, and you wind up getting a lot of the same ideas, the same content, because that's how it works. And it's designed to give you more of what you want, so you keep engaging, and that's
fine.
Dopamine
hits.
It becomes a very small cycle, right?
Yeah.
And any way to kind of poke through that and be unique in that space gives you a much better chance for your art to resonate, because it's a different look. Like at this point, I feel like we've been doing it long enough. People are a little over, online concerts and that kind of thing. But at first, when people started doing these online concerts when no one can go anywhere, it's like, oh my God, this is amazing, And I mean, Travis Scott has other issues now, which we won't necessarily get into as far as the Astroworld thing. But early in the pandemic, I believe it was Travis Scott did like basically an immersive, VR or augmented reality concert where you would go and you can walk. I think he did it in conjunction with Fortnite. Like you log into Fortnite and you can walk around this open world or whatever. And then he's giving this concert and you can go and interact with people and whatever. Like that's cool, like objectively. And I'm not even specifically a big Travis Scott fan, but like the idea of that, the possibility of that is like, okay, this is a new thing. This isn't just me scrolling through my Twitter feed for the zillionth time looking for a new tweet to read, right? It's an experience, and sure, in real life, maybe it's a more effective experience, but the experience doesn't have to be like I'm actually here walking around this. No, maybe I'll fly around. Maybe I'll teleport over there. You can do things that are outside the realm of reality to make it so much more interesting for people. And also you can reach people all over the world. I could throw the biggest concert I want in Brooklyn, New York, but you couldn't come because you're not here, right? People in Japan, maybe I've got a huge fan base in Japan. I don't know if I do, but shout out to Japan. I hope y'all like me. They can tune in, and you can just, we can't, and this goes for technologies across the board. We can't limit ourselves by trying to make everything what things already were and make them fit into the rubric of, well, this is how we've been doing things, so it needs to work that way. I want to do that. I want to do the thing that nobody's done yet. And so it's exciting and it's something that's memorable because I'm the first one who did it. No one ever did that shit before. So I want it to be me. I want to create. I want to create a thing. I want to create something emotional and something that people really resonate with, because that's that's the kind of art that I love. Is art that's like, yo, I gotta stop. I gotta look at that. No, hold on. I gotta spend a few minutes looking at this painting because I don't understand it, but it's dope, and I want to stare at it till I get it. Like, that's the kind of art that I like. You know, that's how I felt when I listened to